What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is E-Rock Lado, bringing you another Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play. Just finished off with the main scenario, 2.0. Now we're about to head into 2.1 main story, and this will be the arc that'll take us on to Heaven's Word. So, hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Kira, it pleases me to see you well. Do excuse me for interrupting, Kira. My lady, the gentleman from Ashgana Exports has just left. I understand now why you didn't want to receive him. You did well, Tataru. Please inform the guards that we will not receive any further guests this evening. Thank you, my lady. Ever since we defeated Gaius Van Balsar and destroyed his ultimate weapon, the eyes of the world have followed our every move, scarce remembering to blink. Where once we worked in secret, with precious few friends and all too many enemies, we are now besieged by benefactors, each one more eager than the last to offer us his complete support. A true embarrassment of riches. Of course, every promise of patronage comes with a price. Some make their intentions known from the start, while others endeavor to engage us more subtly. Dress it how they will, the message is ever the same. We shall help you, but only if you help us. The gentleman Tataru spoke of was more brazen than most. In exchange for certain supplies, he would have us resolve a business dispute. Naturally, I refused him, as I have every other merchant of his ilk. Alas, the syndicate overtures are not easily rejected. When we formed the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, it was with the goal of serving Eorzea, not the interest of individual Eorzeans. Our neutrality is fundamental to our cause. In my heart, I know this to be true, and yet, if accepting these offers of patronage could empower us to do greater good, might they not warrant greater consideration? Our Baldessian colleagues have been generous beyond measure, but we cannot expect them to... Forgive me, I did not mean to burden you so. Yet, my urge to share this dilemma may not be wholly misguided. Might I impose upon you to consult the others? They are like to have their own opinions on this matter. Recall you are meeting with the Admiral shortly after the Lamentians sent word of the summoning of Titan. Then mayhap you also recall my words to our host. I said unto Merlwyb that her people had broken their treaty with the kobolds, and that the beastmen had just responded, that we had been called to intervene in a conflict which she herself had invited. I spoke, in short, the truth. And wherefore did I speak it? Because, owing no allegiance to Limsa, I felt no compulsion to allow the Lamentians to distort the facts to fit a narrative which justified their actions and absolved them of guilt. Upon the subject, Menphilia can expect similar reply. Our many alliances with the city-states have already weakened our claim to neutrality, but the path she contemplates would see us relinquish it entirely. Fortune begets power, and power fortune. That we, and especially you, have the power is beyond doubt. The question is what to do with it. You may be interested to know that there is a growing belief amongst the refugees that Alamigo could be liberated, if only the Scions would commit their strength to the cause. Yet there is but one of many causes. We stand at a crossroads, Kira. Each path is paved with good intentions, but where they lead is far from clear. I've been receiving a lot of gifts lately, but Papalimo keeps making me send them back. It wouldn't be so bad, but some of them are really nice. I mean, very nearly abandon your principles nice, you know? None can deny that we would benefit from more support, but if it comes at the cost of our principles. Neutrality was ever a delicate matter. I've lost count of the times I've had to explain to people our allegiances need not necessarily lie in the same place as our headquarters. Mind you, if we are to sell our services for gil, we might as well declare our fealty to Olda now and have done with it. I'm quite sure Ida would enjoy the bribes. 'Tis the lot of the powerful to attract the covetous as well as the needy. Thus doth prudence dictate that those with power proffer aid with one hand, whilst the other resteth ever on their hilt. Alas, we have not the luxury of time to decipher our petitioners' machinations. Nay, not while the beast tribes do labor unseen, to find and defeat, to raise up their fallen primals once more. Doubt not that they shall return, stronger and bolder both, nor that we shall be the ones to meet them. The sacred charge shall ever be ours. 'Tis but a pity we are so few, and our fortune so finite. The situation is not wholly unexpected. I too have given much thought to our organization's future, though it would seem I have reached a different conclusion. Mayhap it is time I made my feelings known to the antecedent. Come along, Kira. Alphino, Kira, is aught amiss? You desired counsel, and you shall have it, Minfilia. The signs of the seventh dawn must leave Olda. We must do what? So long as we remain within Olden territory, we will never be free to act with impunity. Moving our headquarters to Vesper Bay only delayed the inevitable. We have demonstrated our capabilities, and the Syndicate has taken note. They will not suffer our organization to remain independent now. We are far too dangerous for that. Surely you realize they are the reason Vesper Bay still lacks an aetheryte. They know full well how beneficial one would be to our cause, which is why it and other favors will be denied us unless we cooperate. If Ulda is no longer suitable, where would you have us go? Experience has taught us that the appearance of neutrality is as important as the reality. Accordingly, we must keep each of the great nations at arm's length and plant our banner in a place which all agree to be beyond their borders. Wardona. Revenant's told, to be precise. It lies within neutral territory and offers all the essential facilities we require. By way of an additional benefit, it is also frequented by a veritable legion of adventurers who may serve to supplement our ranks. I am, of course, conscious of the fact that we have developed a certain bond with Olda and her people over the years. But I truly believe this is to be the best course of action. As you yourself observed, we have invaluable ties to the local community, forged through years of concerted effort. Olda is our home. Alphino, to cast aside everything we have built and start anew in that desolate wasteland would be beyond reckless. The decision is yours to make, antecedent. I ask only that you recall the shared purpose which first moved us to found the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, and which moved you to found the Path of the 12 ere that. We aspire to an ideal, you and I, just as my grandfather did, that makes us more than mere comrades in arms. We are as much your family as... That will be all, Alphino. I'm sure you have some familiar affairs of your own to attend to. Your concern is most generous, but no, I have left them in the hands of men better suited to the task than I could not very well allow my personal affairs to come before the needs of the Order, after all. Leave Olda? Has it truly come to this? Oh, Kira. Pray attend to Alphino. He is engaged in some business or other and requires your assistance. Pray be on your way. Alphino awaits upon you, and I have much to think about. Oh, and tell him he shall have my answer in due time. Confound it. She knows what must be done, and still she hesitates. All because of these fanciful rumors. I should explain. Minfilia's mother, well, adopted mother, was among the great many who perished during the calamity. I don't know how to say that. Philhamin was her name, though you may know her better as the songstress of Olda. She was a performer of singular talent and much beloved by the people of Eorzea, not to mention a certain Charlian minstrel. As you may imagine, the news of her passing was greeted with shock and disbelief by her adoring followers, many of whom refused to acknowledge what had happened. That her body was never found only served to encourage speculation. Minfilia too struggled at first to accept the truth, but as I have to figure out how to say that. But as I don't know. Absence stretched from months into years, she saw that there could be no other explanation. Until recently, at any rate, for whatever reason, rumors have once again begun to circulate that Philhamin is alive and well. Alas, they have served to rekindle an irrational hope in Minfilia, which now clouds her judgment. Let's talk of Olda as our home, and of the insurmountable difficulties of moving to Mordona. It is no more than an expression of her unwillingness to let go. Nonsense, in a word. But until the tales of Philhamin's miraculous preservation have been categorically disproved, I fear she will remain lost to reason. That being the case, I propose we set about disproving them post-haste. Let's see how these fanciful claims stand up to investigation. One of the most recent of this latest crop of rumors comes to us by way of Father Iliad. Question him for me. I shall look into another alleged sighting and follow anon. Good morning to you, Kira. Alphino told me to expect you. Now, you are doubtless eager to ask me certain questions, but before you do, I must stress that I myself did not see Fiamen, though I very much wish I had. I merely hearkened into the tale of a mourner who came to stay with us. He is still here if you wish to hear it for yourself. You will find him in the Lichard, I should think. I saw Fiamen, just as clear as I see you now, and yes, I'm sure it was her, before you ask. I could never forget a woman like that. 'Twas nigh on 7 summers ago I first set eyes on her, and I still remember it as if it were yesterday. I'm happy to report that the years have only made her more beautiful. Where did I? Oh, Costa del Sol. She was giving lessons to Gurujuru's women, and her voice, gods, her voice. That soft tinkling of bells resonated in my very soul. I dare not say how her song touched me. Do I believe the man's tale? Well, I believe that he believes it, though I do wonder. I doubt I would recognize someone I barely knew whom I hadn't seen in 7 years. But if there is even the slightest possibility that Fiamen yet lives, do we not owe it to Minfilia to pursue it? If this woman resembling Fiamen was employed at Costa del Sol, then that is where you should go. I will inform Alphino of these latest developments. You need only concern yourself with the search. Master Giguruju should remember you from your past engagements, so I suggest you waste no time and approach him directly. Oh, sweet siren of the sands, my Mikot muse, why have you forsaken me? Titan's vein? I mean, Kira, what brings you to my humble resort? Fyaman? You mean to tell me the goddess made flesh who dwelt among us until so very recently was the songstress of Ulda? Egads, woman, if I had known that, I would have chained her to my bedpost and never let her leave. An exaggeration for dramatic effect. As to her current whereabouts, I recall she mentioned Wineport. Ah, but there is no need to pursue her, my friend. When she tires of her rough way of living, she will make straight for Costa del Sol and fling herself into my waiting arms, flushed and breathless. Well, if it isn't Kira, the savior of Wineport, to what do we owe the pleasure? Ah, yes, we did receive a customer matching that description. She was a delight to behold, to give the woman her due, but her perfume was so ghastly, I had no choice but to eject her from the premises, interfering with tastings, you understand. If she is your query, why not consult the blind associate? His olfactory perception is without peer. Given that I could smell the woman from a mile away, I dare say he could smell her from 10. Eh? You want to know if I've seen a Makot lass by the name of Fyaman? I wish. If I haven't seen a lass of if I haven't seen a lass of any description for far too bloody long. Excepting yourself, of course. I see you have had many grand adventures since last we spoke here. You must share them with me sometime. A girl from a little while ago? One does not forget a perfume like that, so robust and intoxicating, yet simultaneously familiar, reminiscent of a bloom native of these parts, in fact. I said as much when we spoke. She complimented my powers of observation and asked me where she might find some of the flowers. So I told her to follow the road south into Raincatcher Gully, and then head east after crossing the second bridge. The flowers which grow in the shade of the cliff have the strongest scent, you see. If you make haste, you may yet find her. Find her there. Fight. There she is. We got a fight on our hands. Oh! 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 It's big! It's huge! Oh. Oh. You're too slow. I'm in your debt, stranger. I did not realize my activities had aroused the Gobu's ire until it was too late. Their oils can be used to make a perfume, you see, and Fyaman? I don't... Who are you? Whom do you serve? Alphino. Typical. Of all the many leads, yours obviously had to be the one which bore fruit. I don't know why I bother. The songstress of Ulda, I presume. Ophelia, or should I say, Acelia, is looking for you. Acelia? You are the very picture of health, my lady, yet the world thinks you dead. I can only conclude that this was by design. The question is, why? Not everyone who endeavors to find me does so with the best of intentions, child. You will be pleased to know that I fully intend to reveal myself to Ophelia when the time is right. Oh, well, that does please me, more than you know. But tell me, sojourns in the forest of Lanosia aside, when exactly will the time be right? When I deem it so. Do you imagine I traveled all this way on a whim? As I was telling your associate prior to your intrusion, I came here to harvest these flowers for use in a perfume. Does that satisfy your curiosity, or would you interrogate me further? My apologies for the interruption. Anyway, now that we all have that which we came for, might we continue this conversation in a safer locale? Wineport, say? And it's settled to Wineport, Kira. Don't be ordering me around. Do what I want. Rescued yet again from the jaws of a ravenous Gobu. How quickly we forget the lessons of the past. Though I was not solely to blame for that foolishness. This is not at all how I envisioned it. Having been apprised of our situation, Lady Fiamman has consented to plead our case to Menphilia regarding the proposed move to Mordona. However, she'll only do so once her perfume is complete. Moreover, she insists that we aid her in obtaining the final ingredient. She will not be swayed, I assure you. I tried. Let's just get this over with, shall we? Despite her years of nomadism, it would seem Lady Fiamman has kept a close eye on the affairs of our order. Surprisingly close, in fact. Suffice it to say, she is nothing if not resourceful. One does not develop such skills without effort, or without reason. All things in time. Believe me when I tell you that I am every bit as eager to return to Vesper Bay as you are. There is work to be done ere that, however, so listen well. I require pristine salamander oil to complete my perfume. Oil this pure can only be obtained from the belly of a Guragach, a notoriously elusive species of wavekin, native to Bronze Lake. Elusive, I say, yet no less sensible to the allure of the right bait. In this instance, that would be freshly slain mud pugils. Is it pugils or pugils? I think it's pugils. Three placed at the water's edge should suffice to tempt any Guragach lurking nearby. They are aggressive when startled and will attack on sight, yet given the ease with which you dispatch the Gobu, I doubt they will trouble you unduly. Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Oh, gotta get you, however you say it. Gurganchu. Gurganch. What up, bro? Whoa! Understand it is for the utmost importance that I finish this perfume before I accompany you to Vesper Bay. Please bring me the oil as soon as possible. Here you go! Once again, I am in your debt. I distilled the flower's oils in your absence, so all that remains is to... There, it is ready. And so am I. It is time we went to see my daughter. Antecedent, you have a guest. Lamin? Celia. I haven't seen her like this in years, Kira. I never truly believed it when they told me you were dead, but what kept you away for so long? The Imperials came for me, as I always knew they would, and so I resolved to stay as far away from you as I could, lest their pursuit of me endanger you and our cause. I could think of no better way to grant you the freedom to continue our work, and continue it you did, achieving things I would not have imagined possible. I followed your every success and celebrated it in secret. I'm so proud of you, Celia. I learned from the best. I have a gift for you. Celestia perfume. You remembered. How could I ever forget? You wore it all the time. If ever I lost sight of you, I could find you again just by following my nose. I did not think it was made anymore. You must have gone to so much trouble. It was no trouble to me, my darling. I fear I cannot say the same for Kiera, however. I could not have made it without her. Thank you, Kiera. Thank you both. There's something else. This is the cat's eye I found. All these years you kept it. My father was a member of the Alamegan resistance. When I was yet a child, he brought me here to Ulda. The accident which claimed his life happened shortly after our arrival. It was Lamin who took care of me then. She raised me as her own, taught me everything I needed to know to survive. I am no stranger to the facts of your history, yet I fear I failed to grasp their implications. It is clear that there is much I do not know about you and your mother both. One of her first lessons to me concerning mining, and I was a very dedicated student. This cat's eye was the first stone I unearthed. It wasn't much, of course, but I was exceedingly proud to have found it nonetheless. So I gave it to Lamin. How do you say that? So I gave it to Lamin as a gift. She said it was beautiful, but there I am at a loss. Why are you returning this to me? Is something amiss? No, Celia, nothing is amiss. Quite the opposite. I need you to realize how far you've come and how much further you must still go. You and your allies have accomplished more than I could have ever hoped. You have succeeded where I failed and made me so proud that words fail me. But even as I marveled at the woman you've become and all the many things you've done, I cannot help but think of that which you have yet to do and of what it may entail. Celia, daughter, you cannot stay here anymore. You and the Scions must leave Ulda. You built it once, Cecilia. You can build it again, and this time we'll do it together. Truly? Alphino, the time has come for the Scions to leave Vesper Bay. He's like, didn't I just say that? We shall establish a new headquarters in Revenant's Toll, as you proposed. That's right, I proposed it. Much work lies ahead of us. Inform our fellow Scions and send the word to the students of Baldessian. Preparations begin at once. As ever, your enthusiasm is greatly appreciated. Our first step will be to secure the cooperation of the Adventurers Guild representatives in Revenant's Toll. Were it not the Guild's considerable efforts, the original Camp Revenant's Toll would have never been established, much less its more heavily fortified successor. However, with construction still ongoing and resources in short supply, it seems certain that the Guild will require something in return for their support. Sympathetic to our cause though they may be. Whatever they ask, I shall not begrudge it. To be plain, we need them more than they need us. Without their assistance, such essential tasks as securing new facilities, cultivating relationships with local merchants, and recruiting adventurers would prove difficult if not impossible. You need not concern yourself with such matters, Antecedent. Really, Alphino? If I need concern myself with anything, it is surely matters such as these. Indirectly, perhaps. I submit that you might instead concern yourself with a different matter, namely, to whom the resolution of such matters might best be entrusted. And here I am, nor do I come alone. May I present the esteemed emissary of the Adventurers Guild at Revenant's Toll. It is an honor, Antecedent. Upon receiving word of your intentions from Master Alphino, we thought it best to begin talks at the earliest available opportunity. Know that my assistants at Revenant's Toll hold the Scions, my associates at Revenant's Toll hold the Scions of the Seventh Dawn in the highest regard. We should be honored to welcome your organization. There are, of course, certain provisions which must need be negotiated. If it pleases you, I would do so. It does. Madame, unless I am much mistaken, you are the one known as Kiera, are you not? May I say what a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance. Slaffborn spoke of you in the most glowing terms. To steal an Imperial Reaper and then use it to infiltrate Garland Castrum is an undertaking few would contemplate, and fewer still survive. You shall always be welcome in Revenant's Toll. We hope you will favor us with your presence again ere long. 'Cause I'm a boss. Well, well, it would seem your reputation precedes you, Kiera. Mayhap I should dispatch you to Revenant's Toll with all haste, as first intended. There's something else I would ask of you first, not as a scion, but as a friend. My mother is troubled. I've seen her behave this way before, and I know she will dismiss my concerns if I inquire. Despite our closeness, she has ever been unwilling to burden me with her problems. It may be that she will welcome your concern, however. She likes you, Kiera. And more importantly, you are not family. Do not bother with subterfuge. She will know I sent you. Simply do what you can to help her. That is all I ask. I am in your debt. So you gonna burden me? Alphino, my boy. The nerve of some petitioners engaging us if we were a band of common mercenaries. I should be glad to refuse them all without a second thought. Have I become an open book, or has she acquired still greater powers of insight? I shall choose to believe the latter. If you must know, one of my earrings is damaged. I'm not wont to sigh for such trifles. but they were a gift. Here, you wish to help, yes? Then do what I cannot. Take them to the Goldsmith Guild in Ulda and see if anything can be done. Boy, these random things they be having me do. Yes, what is it? Earrings, you say? Very well, let me see them. By the 12, I know this design. Humble cat's eye polished and set so exquisitely as to make the clearest of diamonds seem dour and dull. Fiamens aria. And if I'm a judge of quality, crafted by Master Neolifris himself. Oh dear me. And I thought myself above sentiment. Look at my hands, they're shaking. I require no payment, madam. To be entrusted with this duty is reward enough. But since I must needs devote my full attention to the task at hand, mayhap you could attend a small matter while I work. Oh my gosh, they just sent me to do everything. I have an appointment to meet one of my suppliers, a fellow by the name of Odinel, at Birgit Strike in South Italy. He has prepared a shipment of ores for me, you see. If you would collect it in my stead, I should be most grateful. That's a payment. It's making me, I'm doing something, so you'll do the earrings. You're an a-hole. You're an a-hole. Hello. Give me my ish. You come all this way on Mimadesu's account? Well, bloody hells. Can't deny as I'm a bit surprised by that. He's normally a right pain in the arse, see? Always comes to collect his goods in person, and then spends the gods know how long inspecting them. It takes something serious to stop him. Hey, he's not on his deathbed, is he? No? Strange. Here's his ore, anyway. We're square, right? Then give the man my regards. I came out in the middle of the desert for this. Me Dasso! You returned at the perfect time, friend. Ah, yes, may I have my orders. Here you go. Good. I shall sort through these later. Now, the aria. Fortunately, only the class was damaged. The rest seemed remarkably well maintained. You may be sure that I took every possible precaution when replacing the broken section. Oh, and also took the liberty of polishing the piece, as you can see. No, I require no payment. Truth be told, I would happily have paid you for the privilege of laying hands on such a masterpiece. To have attended to its restoration may well be the defining achievement of my career thus far. My sincerest thanks. Well, then why did I have to go do anything? Butt face. Here are your freaking earrings. Well, did you do as I bid? Pray, tell me your trip was not for naught. Kira, I thank you. The sparkles they did the day Neil gave them to me. My Neil sleeps even now, looking for all the worlds as if that cursed blade had taken his young life mere moments ago. My Neil, who sleeps even now, looking for all the world as if that cursed blade had taken his young life mere moments ago, not years. Ye gods, I could almost bear it if he were truly gone, but here he lingers. Can the soul be at peace while the flesh yet remains? Every day I pray that he has entered thou's realm. I pray and I pray and I pray. To love is to lose, child. One can but postpone the moment of parting. And so I shall. My daughter will not lose me again, not for a long while yet, God's willing. Tell Acelia that I am quite well, Kira. She should concentrate on more important matters, and so should you. Quite well, you say? We both know she is not, yet mayhap she will be in time. Thank you, Kira. 1,000 times thank you. Science! You're here. Good. You just saw me walking here. The negotiations are concluded, and our friends at the Adventurers Guild have agreed to furnish us with new facilities and material support in exchange for our assistance in the ongoing defense and development of Revenant's Toll. The Signs on the Seventh Dawn shall have a new home in Mordona, the Rising Stones. Ha! Yeah! A bittersweet victory, if truth be told. I cannot deny that I had come to look forward to Taru's tales of our many guests and their many, many demands. From the waking sands to the rising stones. Passably poetic. That wasn't your doing, was it? I too have news to share. In expectation of this momentous day, I personally informed the Alliance leaders of our plans, and they have each pledged their full support, General Reborn included. Moreover, I've decided that the time is right for us to cast off the vestiges of our order's veil of secrecy and announce ourselves to the world. Are you sure that is wise, Antecedent? If anything, it is a mere formality. Our existence is quite possibly the worst kept secret in Eorzea. Let us affirm our identity, proclaim our achievements, that all may know what the signs of the Seventh Dawn stand for. Well, obvious risks apart, it would be nice to receive a little more recognition. The people have the right to know who saved them. It is my hope that this gesture will encourage the people of Eorzea to place their trust in us. I would reveal to them the true extent of our power, yes, but in so doing, I would show them that it is a power accountable to no one, and at once to all. And what of us? We who have failed primals and faced down the Empire? To you, my fellow Scions, I would say this. Prepare for the challenges which lie ahead, for they will be great indeed. Great, I say, yet no greater than us, and we will rise to them, as we have time and again, united as one. Yay! There must be some way I can... Wait. The area is said to be rich in minerals. Maybe I should ask Fiamen to teach me the basics of mining too.